up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And before we get started, Happy New Year. Hopefully you are starting off with a good start, but it's time to get into these stories and get to the nitty gritty. So today's story is going to be about an Alabama pastor that lost his life, and there being a lot of conversation about it. Now, according to the news, I want to say a year prior to this, he had some domestic situations where there was allegations that he hit his wife and was putting the paws on her. But I guess she decided not to press charges and the case kind of dropped. Well, fast forward, she unalived him and she has not been arrested for it. And the cops seemingly think that it's self-defense. Let me play this news clip and let's get into it.
We're learning more about a church leader who died from injuries he suffered in a Dale County shooting last week.
He was identified as Pastor Aquarius Green, shot during a suspected domestic squabble at a Level Plains home. News 4's Jacqueline Lambert with this story that's drawing some mixed reaction on social media. Jacqueline?
Aquarius Green served Elbow Zion Missionary Baptist Church as its senior pastor. Hurt on December 23rd, Green, who had a history of domestic violence arrests, died Saturday. He was shot by a woman with whom he had a romantic relationship with and shared at least one child.
All right, I'm going to let more of the news report play in a bit, but I want to pause it because like they said, there was mixed reactions. There were a lot of people who were outraged that the wife was not arrested. And there were people on the wife's side saying that he was not a good person and she had every right to protect herself. Now, as you also see, the news stated that he had a history of DV and things like that. So let me just read you guys this post from a woman named Kimber. She says, "I've been real quiet because what's going on is none of y'all's business. And while everyone on here making threats to anyone defending her, I actually got stuff to lose. So I'm not about to go back and forth with y'all on the internet. But I will say this, and I'm going to be real loud about it. I stand with Quintaria. The ones of us that actually know her and love her go make sure she's straight no matter how much hate comes her way. However, you know her, Q Pumpkin, Miss Massey, just know she got an army behind her." So this is, I guess, one of her friends saying, listen, I don't care what y'all talking about. We got her back regardless. Now, let's continue with the news report.
He was shot by a woman with whom he had a romantic relationship with and shared at least one child. Houston County Court information also reveals that 3 domestic violence charges Green faced last year were dismissed because the alleged victim refused to testify against him. The separate protection order filing alleged that Green struck a woman when she was pregnant. Records don't reveal if all of those charges involve the same alleged victim. It's also important to note that the court records do not indicate that the alleged victim in those cases is the same person who shot Green in Green's shooting. No charges have been filed, likely indicating authorities believe it could have been in self-defense. Typically, findings from these types of cases are turned over to the district attorney, who decides whether to present those findings to a grand jury.
All right, so as you see that was the news clip that kind of gave us some backstory. They said that he had these prior allegations, and the only reason that they were not pursued was because the wife decided not to go through with it. Then there were people who were condemning the church that he was a pastor of, wondering why they employed somebody that had allegations of DV. Child, there was people on the pastor side who were friends of his that was going in on the church, and there were people who were taking up for the wife that unalived him that was going in on the church as well. We're gonna get to all of those posts a little later in the video, but for now, let's go to his sermon. Wait, hold up. Before we do that, have y'all hit like to this video? And sometimes they let y'all hype my videos, sometimes they don't. If the ability to hype this video is on the video, have y'all hype the video? Let me know. Let's continue. So his last sermon that I see on his social media was December 21st. There were some people who felt like they kind of consensed that he felt like trouble was amiss. And he even mentioned trouble finding you in his sermon. We're going to go to his Facebook account and watch his last preaching. It's like 2 minutes long. We're going to watch it and then we're going to move forward.
I get just excited that I know who Jesus is. And there are plenty of people in the world that wake up every day not knowing who Jesus is. There are plenty of people that wake up on Sunday morning and rather just stay in their bed and not get to church, where he said, forsake not the assembly of yourselves together, but as you see that day approaching, I want you to do it even so the more. There are many people in the world that just go day after day, month after month, year after year. We just stop reading the word, the Logos, the word of God. But I am not like them. I can't let a day go by without praising his name. He said, let everything that have breath praise ye the living God. And I dare not sit down on him after all that he's done for me. And I just can't praise him just on Christmas. But I have to praise him 7 days a week, 24/7. Come on, 24 hours on the day, because he's been just that good to me. Amen. It don't have to take me to be laying down in the hospital to praise. Oh, it don't have to praise me to get to praise him before a sheriff put a pink slip notice on my door to praise him so he can get me out of. But I'm praising him before I get in trouble. And that way he's already with me before I get in it. Amen. Because there will be a day. Oh yeah, with trouble will not. My grandmother would say this. She said, boy, you don't have to go look for trouble. But trouble will come and find you. And I found that thing to be true. Oh yes, trouble will find you.
All right, so as you can see, that was posted to his Facebook on December 21st. And according to a woman that listed herself as his sister, she announced that he was shot but still trying to fight for his life on December 23rd. And then she announced that he had officially lost his life on December 27th. So he was shot days before Christmas and then lost his life days after. Based on the reports from the news that there was allegations of DV a year ago, it was trouble in paradise back in May because the wife took to social media and she said that she was filing for divorce. She posted a post on May 28th of this year and said, I keep people out my personal business, but yes, I filed for divorce 2 weeks ago. God bless you all that have called and text me. Cheers to a new journey. And in the comments, somebody said, oh no. And she said, I was trying to keep it quiet, honestly, because it's nobody's business, but people love running their hurt to Facebook. And they said, girl, do what makes you happy, sis. Another person commented and said, praying for you. I can tell the look in your face, but I didn't say anything. And she replied and said, I am fine. Another person says, you got this, new beginnings. Now, it seems like somewhere in between that, there was a reconciliation and he ended up losing his life. Now, I want to send condolences to his family, and I don't mean anything harsh by saying this, but or should I not say it? Oh well, I'm going to say it. All I could think about when I was looking at his photos is, and rest in peace, condolences to his family, but I just have to be honest. When I was looking at his photos, I looked and I saw a vibe, or my discernment or my radar was kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of like a lot of guys who go to the church and they try to pray the, certain demons away, and they get into relationships that they necessarily aren't really wanting to be in, but they're trying to, God doesn't want you to be a certain way. So that was kind of the vibe that I got. Now, I don't know if that was his situation. Maybe he just was, just had the similar look as others, but that's kind of the vibe that I got. If you get what I'm saying, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, you get what I'm saying? I don't mean to be insensitive, but that's just kind of the vibe that I saw when I was looking at the pictures, if you catch my drift. All right, enough of that. Let me stop while I'm ahead, or maybe I done already went too far. I don't know. But Let's move forward. Let me insert another one of his videos of him pastoring, and then we'll move forward.
1 Peter 4:17 declares, "For the time is come, for judgment must begin," watch this, "at the house of God." Not the courthouse, not the White House, not the schoolhouse, but the house of God. The church, it is God's house. It is not our house. We just steward and watch over it. But the church itself belongs to the Lord. Many people today think that the church belongs to them. But I would beg to differ today. The church does not belong to a human being, but the church belongs to Almighty God. God bless you, Deacon Keith Hill. If you walk into somebody else's house, you respect their rules. If it belongs to them, they decide what belongs on the inside. And God says today that this is my house, talking about the church. Jesus says in Matthew 21:13 that my house shall be called a house of prayer. Nothing less, nothing more, but it shall be called a house of prayer. Not the house of performance, not the house of politics, not the house of personality, not the house of prayer, not the house of family, not the house of cliques, not the house of mess and garbage. But he said, my house shall be called a house of prayer. Nothing more, nothing less. But somewhere along the journey, the church has gotten cluttered. Oh, yes, it's gotten cluttered with agendas. People coming into church with personal agendas, cluttered with attitudes, cluttered with division, cluttered with sin. And anytime clutter enters into a house, somebody got to clean it up. Amen. And I don't mind cleaning it up this morning. I don't mind taking my shovel and throwing out the garbage. I don't mind cleaning up. Amen. And I want to say that one more time. Anytime a house becomes cluttered, someone got to clean it up. And we need to clean up the church, folks. What makes a church clean? You may ask. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. You can't shout on Sunday and still be messy on Monday. You can't dance in the aisles and still carry unforgiveness in your heart. You can't have a big Bible but a bad spirit at the same time. And God says we got to clean it up. You can't have a dirty heart in a clean ministry. You can't have a dirty heart. You got to ask God to create in you a clean heart, because whatever is in you is going to come out you. If you got hell in you, hell going to come out you. And it's going to come out of you in church, causing division, causing chaos, causing confusion. God is not the author of confusion. Amen. But we have so much mess in the church.
All right, so as you can see, that was him giving a sermon. I just kind of wanted to insert that so that you guys can kind of feel a sense of him as a pastor, and you can kind of see, what type of pastoring that he did, et cetera, et cetera. Now, let's move on. So after he had passed away, the church that he was a pastor of made an announcement, and let's go to that. This is what it said. With heavy hearts, yet unwavering faith, we share that our beloved pastor, Dequarius Green, has transitioned from this earthly life into eternal rest. We thank God for his time of faithful service, love, and spiritual guidance poured into the Elba Zion Missionary Baptist Church family and the community. Though we mourn, we rejoice, knowing that a life well lived in Christ has now received the promised reward. We ask that you continue to keep his family and the Elba Zion Church family lifted in prayer during this difficult time. All right, so under that post where they basically broke the news that he lost his life, you can see that there were 348 comments, 93 shares, and a host of opinions. Now, one of the first highlighted in one of the comments that are at the top is a woman by the name of Lucinda. She says, "So very sorry for this great loss. This is no disrespect to the church. Unfortunately, the church is really not equipped unless we have staff on board to deal with DV and a whole lot of other issues. I wouldn't tell someone suffering from a heart attack or a stroke to only pray about it. I would call EMT. Prayer is a powerful weapon, but there are times we need professional help. My comment is respectfully directed towards anyone experiencing demonic attacks. It affects our mental and physical health, and it's okay to seek professional help outside of the church. I'm not blaming the church or speaking ill towards the church. I'm sorry, but this pastor was suffering, and it's written all over his face. It's in his eyes. RIP pastor, from labor to reward." Now, it sounds like she kind of picking up the same discernment that I'm picking up, but she ain't really trying to say. And someone commented and replied to her and says, "He was charged with DV 3 times in the past year. The pastor was suffering, question mark. What about the family which he terrorized?" To which Miss Heather says, "Perhaps he was being falsely accused." Then, there's always going to be the church cover-ups over the cover-ups, etc. The woman who had commented above said, "As a survivor of DV, your eulogy of this man is revolting and enables use by other people in your church. Please, any man who had a history of DV did not have a life well lived. He had been charged 3 times in the last year for it, and you let him stay in the pulpit? You could have prevented this, but didn't. Mourn for his wife and children instead." Okay, and she went in further talking about how they made it clear that who they gonna back, and other people in the church who are also in similar scenarios know that they're not safe and all kind of stuff. Child, she was going in. The next person that was under the thread, they said a couple of choice words, and they said, "It is unfortunate that a church would allow this man to serve in the office as pastor. He was living in rebellion against God, and everybody knows it. A violent man, an adulterer, and a manipulator. God alone knows the terror and pain that his wife must have lived in. At first glance, it appears that what the church would not do in removing him a long time ago, that God stepped in and made a way to get it done himself." Oh, child, I hope you're not a Christian saying stuff like this. That is so unholy. Or is it? I don't know, but child, that was a little bit much. They said that it appears that what the church would not do in removing him a long time ago, that God stepped in and made a way to get it done himself. So very sad, so very tragic. Churches that allow this are way too numerous. I pray God's mercy on his family and God's leadership for that church. This is a time for confession and repentance of sin by a lot of people. And again, is this a church going woman or man? I don't know, honey. Y'all be vicious with the tongue. I thought it was us non-church goers that be a little vicious. Y'all be vicious, charm. Another person under the thread says, "As tributes are shared honoring a man as a wonderful pastor and a man of God, an important truth is being left out. There was a documented history of DV in this home. While people mourned publicly, a woman and children were living privately with fear, harm, and abuse at the hands of someone who held spiritual authority. That reality does not disappear because someone preached, led a church, or was respected in the community." She went on to say a whole lot more. If you want to read the rest of what she said, pause and read, pause and read. But just as well as there were people who were condemning the church for allowing him to be a pastor, there was equally as many people defending the pastor's honor and saying, if it was so bad, then why didn't she leave? There were several people under the comments saying that she could have very well left. She could have just left him if it was so bad. She should have never been with him. If it was so bad, they should not have been together, etc., etc. I'm gonna flash a couple on the screen. Pause and read, pause and read, pause and read, honey. There was a lot of comments, okay? There were people who were praying for the family, praying for the wife, praying for the pastor, and so much. Y'all gotta get into these comments. Go to Facebook and type in Elba Zion Missionary Baptist Church, honey, and you gonna get all of it. Now, while people were squabbling underneath that church comment section, there were people outside making their individual posts. Let's share a couple of videos and do like a brief intermission. So one lady shared a video. She says, my Scoob used to get tired of me asking him all type of questions. I guess he used to get tired of me recording him, but he never stopped walking in the bank saying, hey, Scoob, Lord knows I was praying that you was going to be okay. I can't believe you gone, man. Man, DQ, you really messed me up with this one. Ish, fly high, Aquarius Green.
Look at my friend there, baby. Goddamn, come to Walmart and donate. His daughter needs some food. She leaning. Oh, Lord, he whooping the baby. Lord. Don't they look alike?
In addition to that video, another person shared a video of him working at Walmart as well. Let me play that and then we'll move forward.
Get these keys. You better get these keys. I said you one time you saw. Get these keys. You better get these keys. I said you one time you saw.
Now, let me go to some of the people who were taking up for the pastor and calling his wife a liar. One woman named LaShandra, I flashed her comment in the beginning of the video, but let's read it. She says, why has this evil, manipulative, lying devil, unaliver, not been arrested for taking the life from Pastor Aquarius Green from his precious 2 kids, his mom, his family, his church, his friends, and his community? Why? Angry emoji, angry emoji, angry emoji, crying emoji, heartbreak emoji, heartbreak emoji, heartbreak emoji, crying emoji. Pure evil. I'm livid. We all are. Okay. And LaShandra was going on rant after rant after rant on her page. In the comment section under that post, I'm going to read 2 comments from it. Someone said, it's coming, LaShandra. Sometimes it can take longer in domestic disputes if one claims self-defense. She's not getting away with shooting him in the head when he wasn't even a threat. Lord, let the DA hurry up. I hope his family makes a GoFundMe so they can get a bad A attorney. And LaShandra replies and says, I really, really hope so. I'm livid and heartbroken. So another person that didn't really know what was going on, they wanted to know what the backstory was behind this post that she had posted. And she said, a manipulative, delusional, psychotic, narcissistic, jealous, lying, cheating, devil, garden tool unalived her husband, who is a pastor, because she is jealous of his daughter and relationship he has with his church and community. End of story. Now, she also shared the post that the news posted, where the news did an update and they said that the Alabama pastor who was shot to death faced numerous DV charges. To that, where she replied and said, they were all dismissed, you miserable dummies. That girl him for no reason because she was jealous of his daughter, delusional, psychotic, narcissistic, evil, manipulative, jealous, a liar, demonic, and etc. Pure evil. She is a cold-blooded unaliver and needs to be in jail and needs to be away from her own child for his safety since she abused him as well. And I'm like, well, damn, LaShondra, tell us how you really feel. Let's continue. In addition to LaShondra sharing the post from the news saying that he had multiple DV charges, was another woman who also reshared the post named Lizzie. Now, Lizzie shared some of the similar sentiments, and she says, all dismissed because she lied every time. We all knew who the real abuser was, and outside of all of that, Decarius Green was pew-pewed in the back of the head while trying to take his daughter and leave the situation. There is no justification in that. His child had to watch him fight for his life. I really hate this happened to you. You were an amazing person and father. Now, initially he was shot on the 23rd and didn't lose his life till the 27th. So I'm wondering if he was able to speak at one point and told them that he was trying to like retract and, leave the situation and all of this stuff. I don't know. But let's continue. Now, while there were people, and I'm going to show you a video later of a woman also defending him, while there were people going to bat for him, there was this woman who decided to enter into the conversation, and she said this, speaking my piece. I remember this low-down sneaky A pastor. He tried to have blank with me. He was very persistent. I kept saying, no, you can't come to my house. If you like me, let me come to your house. And he blocked me. I looked up, I was blocked. So basically, he was trying to F me at my place while he was married. To hear his wife took his life wasn't surprising. She probably went through his phone and seen some ish. I'm glad I dodged that blank. He up there hitting her, I'd snap too. Now, in the comments, there was some more cackling going on. So somebody replied in her comments and basically said, well, I want to hear somebody testify. To which she replied to them and said he was the devil in sheep's clothing. So when he blocked me, I used my gay homeboy phone to text him. I look up, he sent him a friend's request. He showed it to me. He wanted my homeboy next. He was effing everybody. The person replied and said this, he prayed first. And she says, right, he prayed first, hop on Facebook, and then sleep with men and go home and hit on her. Somebody replied to that and said, watch out now. Another person commented under her thread and said, Lord. And she replied and said, he was low down, had a nasty attitude and a smart mouth. Then he got mad with me, tried to holler at my homeboy who was gay named Foxy Brown. They replied back to that and said, shaking my head, that's awful. Child, she didn't hold nothing back. She had a lot to say and she was letting it be known, and she posted it and made sure that her post was public, tagged him and all. Now, I can't verify anything that she's stating, just like when I play you guys the video of his friend that is defending him. I can't verify anything that she's saying. I'm just, of all of the chatter that's all over Facebook and people making publicly, nobody's providing receipts as far as I can see. It's just a whole lot of talking, and we're just creating a video where we're compiling all of the things being said, good, bad, or indifferent, and, putting a heavy emphasis on what is alleged due to there not being any receipts on any of this stuff. But let's continue. Now, ironically, while I was also looking through different comments and I was searching his name, a post from a year ago had came up. So back in June, now this is unrelated, but just while we on the conversation of sin, somebody had added the pastor and they said, Decarius Green, please pray for her. And it was a post of a woman who said, I'm so stressed out. I need to be effed in my backside. And under that post in the comments, Decarius thought that this was so funny. And he said, man, you HE double hockey sticks. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. And I said, ooh, what? The pastor, why is you even commenting on such debauchery, honey? This is crazy. Is that how y'all joke with y'all pastors? I'm not really a church girly. Well, not really. I'm not a church girly. I just believe in living right, doing unto others as I would like them to do unto me. And I kind of live a golden rule type of life. So y'all let me know, is this type of behavior, cackling with the pastor, normal? Where, maybe, are there like new hip pastors to where you guys jokingly tag them into post about people wanting their rump entered? Like, let me know, because I'm like, well, maybe I'm just out of touch and I really don't know. Maybe there's different relationships that pastors are having. Y'all let me know. But anyways, let's continue now. As I stated, there was one of his friends who really jumped off the porch to defend him. Now, I didn't see her provide any proof. It was a lot of salacious allegations that she was asserting about his wife in defense of him, and she was extremely angry that the wife took his life. And I mean, your friends are supposed to have your back, but there's sometimes a fine line between a friend being angry about you not being here and then a friend who secretly wanted you. Now, I don't know if that's her case, but some of the tone behind some of the stuff that she said, I'm wondering, like, girl, was you mad at the girl because it was her that he chose and not you? I don't know, but we're going to react to some of what she said, and we're going to get on down into some more of this story.
I need everybody to share this live that's coming in, because I'm gonna let the truth be known. I've been quiet for a long time and out the way and minding my business, but it ain't gonna let me rest. So I'm gonna have to tell the truth. So just hold on till we get some people up in here, but I'm sure finna tell the truth. I'm gonna air everything out.
All right, so before we go to the next part, y'all know I have a website, www.niquelatnight.com, and I have all type of goodies on my website. Definitely check it out and support. And in case this video is not monetized, because I don't know, it's been a lot of stuff being said in this video, y'all, tip the host if you enjoy my commentary and my deep dives, or if you ain't got no change because it's kind of, right around the holidays, make sure you hit like and share of the video. Now, let's continue.
He felt like she was his everything. Even though she had kids, he only had one. He accepted them just like he accepted himself. That's the only thing he was guilty of. Other than that, that man was a good man. She didn't even get my friend there for Father's Day. Now, we gonna go and run it. When I get to 170, we gonna go ahead and run it. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm gonna start with the very first beginning of how they met all the way down. And I'm gonna show y'all just how low down this woman was. I'm gonna show y'all just how much she hurt my friend to his core. All he ever did was pray for her. She didn't care about him. She ain't love him. She ain't love him. The only thing she wanted to do was be in the limelight, in the publicity. Okay, we're gonna start it like this. Guess what? When they first met, she was all in his DM. Begging and just beg and plead him, let me take you on a date, let me do this, let me do that, and all type of, I see what it is, all type of stuff. She never meant him no good. When they started talking, he was happy. He felt like he found somebody. He felt like, he was falling in love all over again. He felt like she was his everything. Even though she had kids, he only had one. He accepted them just like he accepted himself. Look, it's funny because it's sad, because you can't change a person and make them to who you want them to be. You can only accept them for their truth. Now, they separated. And what people don't even understand was, during the time she found out she was pregnant, my friend wasn't even with her. He wasn't even with her. He didn't have a clue if the baby was hers or not. And I'm going to tell you why.
All right, let me check in. Let me look and see what these likes is doing. Are y'all playing, or are y'all liking? Are y'all enjoying the breakdown, the thorough, in-depth breakdown? Y'all let me know in the comments, and y'all always know y'all can tip the host now. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's continue.
Clue if the baby was hers or not. And I'm going to tell you why. Want me to tell you why? Because she slept with everybody. She slept with everybody, and I'm even call them out. I'm going to hurt everybody. The way I feel, I'm going to tell my friend's story. This need to be in the book. This need to be in the book. Be careful who you choose to love, because the way you love people, when they show you their true colors, get to running like Forrest. Matrix them. Matrix them. A person can only show you their true character for so long. For so long. And guess what? Everything she ever did to him was nothing but hurt. And all he did was love her. Even when she lied to make him lose his job, everybody at the job, he hit his wife, or the pastor ain't never put his hands on that lady. Look, and I'm trying to keep it nice, because I know he got a lot of spiritual friends, a lot of church buddies, and people that are religious. But my friend lived righteous, and all he did was love his wife. So let's start by this. Okay, from the time they met, she went nothing but trouble from the beginning. She went nothing but trouble from the beginning. He separated from her. He separated from her because all she did was sleep with multiple people. He separated from her. He separated from her because all she did was sleep with multiple people. Had him all at little kids' basketball games. For the people that know her, they know she had this little boy staying with her. For all I know, she could have been sleeping with him 9 times out of 10. She was, because she was walking around the house with a robe and gowns on. No, make it so bad. She had towels on when she get out the tub. Take the towel off in front of the little boy. The little boy told Aquarius everything. And guess what? Shan was on the phone and hid. Shan was on the phone and hid. He sure did. She had the neighbor's shoes in the house because she was sleeping with the neighbor next door. Nobody know why she got 2 mortgages. I'm going to tell you why she got 2 mortgages, because she couldn't stay where she was staying because she was sleeping with the damn neighbor. Yeah, she was sleeping with the neighbor. On top of the neighbor's shoes on the floor. Look, Aquarius seen the shoes. She told him that the shoes was the little boy shoes. The shoes were the little boy shoes, all at the game, all at the... I know we all not, but it's still respect, so I'm just going to keep it cordial and keep it mannerable, because there's some elderlies on there too. But I'm going to tell the truth. I ain't the little TikTok man and then like that, but I'm going to tell his whole story. So guess what? Okay, during the time she found out she was pregnant, my friend went with her. He went with her. So he was like, I don't know. He was kind of skeptical because she was pregnant so quick. So it was about 3 months in. She called out the blue after they were separated for about 3 months and told him that she was pregnant. She did think the baby was somebody else's. Yes, she did. She did. But then she was telling him, like, no, because the timeline don't add up, is yours. He left her on behalf of her cheating because he caught her cheating. On top of her cheating, during her pregnancy, I'm going to tell y'all, the only bruise she had was on her cat, and that was herpes. That was herpes. She told my friend he gave her herpes. He said, I ain't never had an outbreak.
Whoa. So, again, I'm going to give the disclaimer. I'm just posting what everybody is saying, good, bad, or indifferent, and she's alleging that the wife, gave him a STD. Some of the stuff, now again, I understand somebody who is upset that their friend is no longer here, but again, I don't know, just looking at her body language and the way that she's talking and speaking on the lady, and she's not providing any receipts. Like, her receipt is, oh yeah, well, I was on the phone with him, so I heard it. But it just gives, to me, my discernment is picking up somebody who wanted to be with him themselves and was mad that she wasn't chose, the wife was. That's just kind of what it gives. But what she goes on to say about this STD situation, I'm like, now girl, child, that's what he told you? Because it just sounds like he just told you something that sounds good and you went for it because you probably just believed everything that he said. But to somebody who... Let me just play what she goes on to say, and let me bring it back a little bit.
Couldn't stay where she was staying because she was sleeping with the damn neighbor. Yeah, she was sleeping with the neighbor. On top of the neighbor's shoes on the floor. Look, Aquarius seen the shoes. She told him that the shoes was the little boy.
And my whole thing too is, okay, she's sleeping with the neighbor. Her cat is just getting around, and the pastor, his low self-esteem, his esteem is just so low that, I don't know. Let's continue.
Shoes. The shoes were the little boy shoes, all at the game, all at the... She called out the blue after they were separated for about 3 months and told him that she was pregnant. You know, she did think the baby was somebody else's. Yes, she did. During her pregnancy, I'm going to tell y'all, the only bruise she had was on her cat, and that was hers. That was her. She told my friend he gave her herpes. He said, I ain't never had an outbreak. I told him, don't let her do that to you. I said, go get tested. Go get checked. Guess what? He got checked. She was at the doctor's office. And guess what? They told her she had it. She had herpes and he didn't. Meaning, where you got herpes from? She had it since she was young. She been busting her cat open. And she struggled from childhood traumas. That ain't no PTSD. Ain't nothing wrong with that lady. She wasn't even in the military long enough for to have no PTSD. She can claim that out.
All right, so I'm going to pause her right there. Now, anybody who is up on their health down there and gets regular checkups, you know that, number one, if they got a kid together, she done had a baby with him, 9 times out of 10, they're doing it without any type of protection. And if they're doing whatever she got, he got. This isn't a situation where somebody sleeps with somebody one time and at the time they didn't have an outbreak, so the other person didn't contract it. What this lady is alleging is that the girl had it since she was young. So you mean to tell me a pastor who's dating a woman, marries a woman, goes 9 months sleeping with the woman, has a baby, then goes and finds out that she has it, but then you're saying that she had it since she was young and he didn't have it. I call BS, because if they went 9 months, not just a one-time thing, they went 9 months in a marriage, and you think that whatever she had, and she's supposed to have it since she was young, you think that he didn't have it? Girl, bye. So I don't care if he tells you, oh, she had it and I didn't, which, I mean, maybe that can happen, but let's be honest. If you have got tested and you know how it goes, I'm a person who regularly goes when, I'm active and everything like that, to make sure y'all do a full panel of everything. And if you are a person who has gone to the doctor and said, listen, I need a panel of this, and this, they will tell you that a herpes test is only detectable if you are currently having an outbreak. So if they went to the hospital, or that's what he told you, and she currently had an outbreak and he didn't, there's no way to verify if he had it or not. But that doesn't mean that he didn't have it. It just probably means that at the time that they went, he wasn't currently with an outbreak and she was. Men and women hold things in their bodies differently. Their bodies react to certain things differently. So, I mean, that sounds good, but child, if she had it and he told you she had it and they hunching and they're married, I'm 9 times out of 10, but we'll entertain her some more, because she's alleging that the lady had it since she was a child, where she would know that, I guess, from him. So let's continue to listen to some more.
She want all y'all can run around here talking about domestics. Guess what? She didn't tell you she got about 4 or 5 other domestic cases that she done put on me and everybody she slept with. She just about said, but guess what? My friend died. My friend ain't have a record. All his stuff got thrown out because she lied. None of it was true. He let God fight his battles. He ain't even try to fight himself. He gave it to the hands of the Lord. He did. As much, I was angry. I was mad because I know how much his job and everything meant to him. You know, when you dedicate yourself on a career, and you've been working this place all your life and all you want to do is elevate, take care of yourself and your children, and somebody take that away, that hurts. And guess what she did? Kept calling the home office, telling my people.
So let me just.
And while, people at the job doing it, let's just say that. But no, it was her. I said, don't be green all your life. Your last name green, but don't be green. I'm going to leave it to the Lord. God got it. On top of that, okay, he found himself a barber, was taking him and her kids, because he only had one. His little boy wasn't even old enough to get his haircut yet, to the barber. So he's saying at the barber, she come in, bring the children through the barber. Okay, now he made this his original barber. So he going to get his haircut. Look, she didn't know he was at the barbershop. The barbershop phone rang, he landed on the counter, he looked over. It's a nigga picture of this man's wife. A naked picture of his wife on a barber phone. So that means now you smashing a barber. And the barber was like, oh, well, yeah, man, you know, she came on to me. You know, you can't be mad at me. You need to be mad at her. All type of stuff like that. She ain't telling y'all that part. She ain't telling nobody none of that. She ain't telling nobody how she tried to accuse.
So let me get this straight. He's getting his hair cut, and the barber gets a phone call, and the barber has her saved with a picture that was a revealing picture, and he's a barber, his phone is out, and so he's got the women that he deals with in their birthday suit calling, and that's their contact picture. I mean, I guess.
Using my heaven. She ain't telling nobody how she took him to them games and she was sleeping with every man up in there, all the coaches and stuff, and that's why she was playing under the little boy. She ain't telling nobody how she was a on the low, getting in front of that little boy naked, acting like she normal. No, she wasn't normal. No, she wasn't normal. She got mental issues. She craved attention. She ain't telling nobody how jealous she was. She didn't even want his family or nobody to be on the phone when she was around. She ain't telling nobody how she was a control freak. I call her wild hair ass Angelica. You know, Angelica off the Rugrats, that's how she was. Have a temper tantrum and shit don't go your way. When you get grown, everything don't work the way you want it to. Everything do not work the way you want it to. He loved her dirty drawers. He loved the ground she walked on. He did everything he can for her. It's a long list of people that she done slept with. Guess what? The church. She ain't telling nobody how they went.
So, he accepted her being a 304. Like, okay, so you're telling us that she slept with the people at the game. She slept with people at the barbershop. She was infected. And he loved it there, obviously. So, I mean, that don't make him look any better that he was leaving it up to God. I mean, I'm so sick of people hiding behind, like, this church facade. And so you mean to tell me that, child, let me just listen to a little bit more and then we're going to get off of this, because I don't see her posting no receipts about anything. It's just a lot of wild accusations. And I don't know the woman that she's talking about from Adam, so I don't know if she get down like that or not. But the way that she's delivering some of these allegations in defense of her friend, it's like he was a grown man. Like, so she's sleeping with the football team, the barber shop. She's sleeping with all these people. She done gave him something, and like. And on top of that, she's lying on him, getting him fired from his job, lying on him, putting false charges. According to them, they're saying that she's sleeping with everybody around town. She's lying, getting him fired. She's lying about him putting the hands on him. She's sleeping with the entire world. So you mean to tell me that he's giving it so much up to God? And this is a man. Men are not that forgiving for cheating like that, please. There are some that will go back to you for cheating, but cheating, lying, getting you fired, your response is he loved her down. I don't know.
To eat on this, they went on the dinner date. She seen one of her old military buddies, a female. She didn't tell nobody how the lady was grabbed her crotch from the back in front of my friend. And he asked her like, hey, what's she doing? She said, oh, we just military, but it's just no, it was somebody you was sleeping with too. Every time she had somebody else, she dogged my friend out. Every time he slept with somebody else, he let that old wicked ass church convince him to go back. Talking about work on your marriage. Because they go by the Old Testament. They want to sweep everything under the rug, them old country folks. That's what they do. Then they want to have the nerve to ask his mama, have you checked on her? That just killed this man, this lady's son. What she look like checking on her? Elba, I got a lot to say about Elba, them antique folks. Yeah, how they mistreated my friend. How every time they had a pastor meeting, one of their little meetings, they little huddles, it was always something not right because y'all don't want to elevate the church. Y'all want to stay in that stagnant ass energy.
Child, now the church done did him wrong too. You saying that, child, he was getting done wrong every which way. They wasn't respecting him at the church, child. The church name is Elba Zion Missionary Baptist Church, if y'all didn't know who she's talking about. She's talking about the church that he was a pastor of.
I'm so angry right now, y'all. I can go on and on and on and on. Let's get up to when she killed my friend. Let's fast forward, cause it's so much go on. And so y'all, my friend needs justice. He put her with mental abuse. She used to get angry if they somewhere and people show him attention and don't, just wave at her cordially. For the people that gave her attention, and everybody know my friend block game was strong. His block game was strong. So this last time, she had to reach out through him through the milk bag.
That's what that one lady said. She said that he blocked her, and then she had the homeboy, the gay homeboy, hit him up. Child, so.
As church folks, don't never let nobody tell y'all how to run y'all business. You the one got to deal with it. They on the outside looking in. They don't know what the hell going on. But guess what? Nobody ever knew this lady was the biggest hoe you could ever have. Gap her legs open to everybody. Like I said, and I'm going to keep saying, the only bruise she had was the on her cat. That's the only bruise she had. Guess what? My friend and her ain't even sleep in the same room. Want me to tell you why? Because he didn't want to sleep with her, because she was nasty. Because she was nasty. The only reason he was down was because of that little boy. Nobody knew that this lady, guess what? The first two, she treated them like son. When it came to him, she mistreated that little boy that he had by her. He told me how she shut him out, had him out there in the hallway.
Child. Anyways, so she talked for about an hour. I can't listen to any more because, and maybe it's just because she's so angry or whatever, but it just, I don't know. It just feels like it's coming from a place where she was angry that he chose the wife and not her. I don't know if she's married. I don't know if she's in a relationship, but just the energy behind the words, I don't know. It's like if she was a 304, like, why he didn't choose you? Like, I don't know. Is she in a relationship? I can't find her profile no more because I wanted to go back to her profile to find out what is it given. Is she single? Did she want him for herself? Or what the case is. But anyway, so after she made this video and she made a bunch of, wild accusations in there. If you guys, several people like reposted it so you guys can find it, I'm sure. But after she made these allegations against him, somebody who said that they were the wife's sister, they came out swinging and saying that she was telling a whole bunch of fibs. She wasn't being truthful. And they shared all of the different charges that DeQuarius had with the wife. Now, again, the prosecutors did not move forward because she didn't want to testify. So that was also like a big old thing in the comment sections as well of her post. We're going to go to her post and I'm going to read to you guys what she had to say because she was not here for the allegations of this woman. In her post, she says, "It's crazy how one person can get on this app and tell 1,000 lies and people ran with it. If you know, you know. When it comes to my sister, she isn't gonna get on here and prove a point to anyone, especially when it's from someone that's been jealous of her. Tracy Palmer, please don't let me expose what was said about you in the group chat from my brother-in-law about you. He was tired of you and he stopped answering your calls. If you want to be real, tell that. Everything you said was a lie, but it's cute since you wanted to make a traumatic time like this about you. His family knew who he was, and yet they aren't talking. He didn't have a relationship with his mama, from his own words, while she started with the lies." Okay. And then she put hashtag we support you pumpkin, hashtag we love you Q Massey. And there was a lot of people who were windmilling even in her comment section. And I'm sorry, when she started calling her ugly and saying her hair was always wild, first I thought she can't be talking about pumpkin because where, when, who. Then all I could think was she envied her. It gave fan behavior to me. Just my opinion, though. I pray for all those involved for God to send peace in the midst of this storm. And the sister says, "My sister never half-stepped, and her bad-built A knew that. She was definitely jealous." All right. So another person jumped in the comments and said, "I don't know these folks, but That is what I gathered as well. The wife is very pretty, so as soon as she started talking down on her looks, it gave it away. Oh, I didn't even make it that far in the video for her to start down in her looks and all that. They said it sounds like she may have been attracted to him. Definitely sounds like that. Or secretly in love with him, and it wasn't reciprocated because he was married. Then she says she never would speak to her. How are you on the phone with someone's husband multiple times a day and not cool with their spouse? I don't know all details of what happened, but that is what stood out to me from her video. So I didn't make it to the part where she start talking down on her. I made it to the part with y'all because it was just a lot of wild stuff. Child, let me find the part that they're talking about, because Lord knows I didn't make it that far.
I go to the church when my friend got his church. I always go wherever he preach at. I'm going to go visit at least once. I might don't go twice, because I go to a lot of different churches, but this particular day I'm in the church. I drove down to Elba. Let's talk about Elba. I drove down to Elba. So the first lady sit on the first pew. Y'all, I kid, she was pure evil. I'm telling you, she was the devil. She the Antichrist. And look, that little face, it'll fool you with her wild ass, them toe-up ass lace fronts, and them thick ass messed up eyelashes that make her look like something out of Living of the Dead movie. But we gonna go back to the store. The door open. The ladies in Elba, they gonna cater to the first lady. She had the baby, she walked in. That's just how long it been, y'all. I went to the church once. The first lady didn't go to the front. She sat right across from him. The whole time he was preaching. If you had positive intentions about anything that's going on in that church, you wouldn't be trying to seek attention for nobody. If you really was a woman of God, you would be up there with your husband.
Child, you said this was when the lady had just had her baby, and your best friend, the man that's telling you all about everything about him, you walked in and the woman had just had her baby. It didn't dawn on you that maybe she sat in the back and not the front just in case the baby made a noise. But you was so angry that you could have been up in that front if you was the one that he was with. That's what it's giving.
That was my friend. But because I never spoke to her, she tried to be intimidating. She tried to manipulate people. And she sat right across from me. And the whole time I'm sitting there licking and I'm clapping, I'm tuned in. And I can feel her. And I see her at my parental vision. Just like if y'all do this, you see your head at your parental.
Girl, what is parentheo?
Her face was just like this. Like, she on this side, I'm on this side. She sat right across from me. She was like...
That woman probably was staring, wondering why you done been out at restaurants with her husband and you ain't never spoke to her, said nothing to her, or even waved her way, just enjoying her man's sermon. I mean, I don't know, perhaps. But anyways, let me get back to what the sister of the lady who unalived the pastor had to say, because I can't take too much of this lady. Now, there was tons and tons of people who were under her comments who was eating it up and living for it. But my critical thinking skills, my common sense, it just can't compute. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my critical thinking skills is glitching. But let's get back to what the sister said. All right. So in addition to that post, the sister made another post and people were going in the comments. She said, if you want to speak facts, then do that off of proof. Tracy, or whatever her name is, this is the person you spoke so highly of. My sister don't bash anyone, but I will sweep around your own funky front door before you sweep around my sister's. And we all know what POM is. Okay, what is POM? I don't know, child. But anyways, offense description, POM first. Hold on, let me look that up because I don't know what POM is, honey. I'm out the loop. Hold on, let me write this. What is Houston? What is Houston POM offense? Oh, POM stands for possession of Mary Jane. Okay, so I guess that's possession of the Mary Jane. But anyways, let's get into what she posted in these posts. So, all right, so this is what she posted, and let's get into it. Let me try to make y'all see the whole thing. Let me move it over. So this is one of the posts, and it shows that this was case number 1 filed on September 19th, 2024. It says at the time he was 29. His name was Dequarius Green, and it says the offense description was POM first. Then there was another charge that happened September 18th, or it was filed on September 18th, and it says domestic third harassment, all right? And then it says the description, bonds amount assessed $1,000. Then this was another case where it was May 29th, 2024, and it says DV third, and it says amount assessed $6,000. All right, so this was another situation. So it was a situation that was DV related in May, and there was another DV situation in April, even before that. So this was DV on April 28th, 2024. And so these are the receipts that the sister posted. Now, as I stated, there was a lot of people going off in the comments, and we're just going to read what people had to say because they were very angry that she posted these charges because they were not prosecuted. Now, let's get into it. So she says, and that's why he lost his job and couldn't get one all the time. Speak facts. Your sister gonna stay in jail. That's not no damn self-defense. She ain't have no business pow-powing that man. If they wasn't talking for almost a year, she's still wrong. She took a father from his child. Simple as that. Your sister, she decided to go back and F with that man. If he was so-called beating her, why she go back? Well, my question is, if she was so-called a 304 and you want to use that rhetoric, then why was he going back? You know, if she was having these diseases and she was, you know, popping it all over the place, why did he go back? You know, somebody said she went back to unalive him. Another person tried to call her out as well, and they said, how you gonna sit there and post drop charges? You're proving the charges were false, because even if she tried to drop them later on, he would still have been charged. In her clapback, this is the receipt that she attached to that comment. It says, yes, in Alabama, the state prosecutes DV cases, not the victim. So even if the alleged victim asks to drop charges, the prosecutor can still pursue the case, often due to the no drop policies and concerns about the victim coercion or a history of abuse. The victim wishes are considered, but the decision rests with the district attorney, etc. So she posted this, and there was a lot of people who are in Alabama who told this woman that she didn't know what she was talking about. Now, I'm not in Alabama. I don't have a DV case, so I don't know. All right, so to her saying, you know, this, her sister says, false. They were going to arrest her if she dropped another charge. I was in court. Were you? Somebody says, I was about to say what she shared all states the prosecutor can pursue the case. It doesn't say he will. It only gives him the right to if he chooses to do so. A man commented and said, the key word here is can. That means that the prosecution has an option to pursue charges or not to pursue charges. Reading is fundamental. Another lady commented and said, you are not educated in all aspects of the law in Alabama on DV case handling by the prosecution office. If a prosecutor makes a decision to not proceed with the case due to an abused victim not cooperating with the investigation, that can and does happen in the state of Alabama, where the case is then dropped. The prosecutor may believe we know the victim has been abused, but is legally trained, advised, and employed not to move forward with charges due to the victim's non-compliance. And yes, many abused women and children don't want to testify. They are coerced and manipulated by the abusers to drop charges. Nothing new happens every day. I've looked up many abusers and sit through many funerals where the victim did not get out because she did not proceed in court and it cost her her life. Okay. So people were going back and forth saying, oh, well, why are you bringing up these charges when they were dropped? And then other people were combating that with their knowledge of the system and so on and so forth. And then somebody gonna try to post a picture of the wife talking about why she looked like this with no makeup. And I'm like, what was that about? And it's always a troll because going to the page, they got a black dot as their picture, no post available. And it's always these type of profiles that's calling somebody ugly, but they too scared to show what they really look like because it's really giving something else. But let's continue. Now, in my opinion, I don't know what's true and what's not true. I don't know if he was putting the pause on her or if he wasn't, but there was a lot of different incidents at different times of the year for it to just be totally unfounded. And while I understand why a woman will go back to somebody who has put the pause on them, I don't understand why a man would continue to go back with a woman that is making false allegations. That part doesn't make sense to me. So everybody who is, using the point that the charges were dropped, I equally have questions as to, we get that there is a history of it takes 7 times for a woman who was in that circumstance to finally leave. But let's flip the roles. How many times are men, and I'm not saying that they're not out there, but how many times are men getting allegations of DV, losing their jobs, their livelihood, and it's an allegation in April, one in May, one in September, and they're going back? Are we staying for the children? Are we doing what Christ would want? Because make that make sense to me. But y'all take the information with it how you will. If you believe the friend that is defending him, if you believe the people who are defending the wife, y'all let me know what y'all think about it. From me, my personal opinion, I think that a lot of the women who are going at the wife, it just seems like they wanted to be with him themselves. A lot of the tone of their comments and how they're going at it. And again, you can be rightfully angry. You can be upset. You can be mad that somebody that you love and held dear was taken from this earth. But it's just the way that they're talking about it, the way that they're phrasing their sentences, the way that they're communicating their anger. It gives, he should have chose me, and I wish it was me and not her. That's kind of what I get from it. But whatever the case is, hopefully the police will sort it out. There has not been any charges. And my guess would be, I wonder what the police have. Did she have bruises? Did she not? Was she unscathed at all? Or was there proof that there was a situation that went down? Y'all let me know what y'all think about it down below. But I just wanted to make a video and do a deeper dive into what everybody is saying, the family, the friends, the church, and all that jazz. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below, and I'll talk to y'all in the next video.